Bayern will be taking on Stuttgart in the midweek clash on Tuesday. Let's get right into it. Welcome to Talking Bayern, the one-stop shop for Bayern Munich content on YouTube. Today we're doing a match preview of the game between VfB Stuttgart and Bayern Munich on Tuesday. So going into this game, Bayern are top of the table and 6 point clear of rivals Dortmund with a 12-1-2 record. Bayern are coming off a narrow 2-1 win though over Mainz, and the offense really hasn't clicked like it was earlier in the season. I mean, that's of course just for Bayern Munich standards. I know we're still scoring goals. We scored 2 last game. In the big scheme of things, it's really not that big a deal. But still, if we're looking at points where we can increase, and improve this team, it's going to have to be the offense. And honestly, Nagelsmann needs to get this offense rolling again and get more service to Lewandowski. I know I was talking in recent games of, it's the most goals we've scored at a certain point this season, and I think that's going to have dropped off. I don't think we're going to be able to keep those records going at this point. But still, we're winning games, and obviously Nagelsmann is doing a great job. As for our opponents, how are they doing? Well, VfB Stuttgart are off to a pretty disappointing start, honestly, with a 4-5-6 record, and they're sitting just outside the relegation spot in 15th. I think they're a point ahead of the 16th spot, which of course is relegation playoff. However, they're obviously a good amount ahead of 17th or 18th. But still, at least things are turning around for Stuttgart with 2 wins in the last 3 games, and honestly, they're coming off an impressive 2-0 win over Wolfsburg at Volkswagen Arena. So getting into the lineups for this match for Bayern, the players that are out or doubtful for this match are Choupo-Moting, Kimmich, Sarr, Stanisic, Goretzka, Sabitzer, and Tolisso. And honestly, I'd go through all the injuries and kind of the reasons why they're all out, but there's just too many injuries and too many problems at this point to go over each one. But for the expected lineup for Bayern this week is going to look something like Manuel Neuer in net. At the back, Alphonso Davies, Sewell, Upamecano, and Pavard. In midfield, Musiala and Rocca, although Musiala has a hand injury and could be out. But obviously there's a lot of other players that are out too, so you might have to fight through it. And then up top, we have Leroy Sané, Thomas Muller, and Serge Gnabry. And at striker, Robert Lewandowski. As for our opponent, they'll be coached by Pellegrino Matarazzo. And they also have a very long list of injured and doubtful players. So to start off that list is Bredlow, Furic, Sasa Kalasic, Clement, Massimo, Malot, Narti, Sanko, Sosa, and Tommy. So you can see why Stuttgart is struggling so much this season. They obviously have a lot of players out, and they're probably not as deep of a team as many other teams in the Bundesliga. But their lineup should look something like this, with Florian Müller in net. At the back, Kempf, Ito, Mavropanos. In the midfield, Kirazar, Mangolo, and Endo. On the wings, Koulibaly and Stenzel. And up top, Forstar and Marmoush. So just some quick insights and stats I thought I would share. Bayern have won 66 of their 104 Bundesliga matches against Stuttgart. No other team in Bundesliga history has won so often against a single opponent. And Stuttgart have lost 17 of their last 18 Bundesliga games against Bayern. So clearly, Bayern are able to beat Stuttgart. Obviously, this is on the road, but still, Stuttgart have lost their last 9 Bundesliga home games against Bayern since a 0-0 draw in 2009. In Bundesliga history, only Werder Bremen has had a longer losing run against a single opponent at home, which is 12 games from 2010 to 2021, also against Bayern. Bayern have scored 93 Bundesliga away goals against Stuttgart. In the history of the Bundesliga, only Gladbach have scored more away against a single opponent, which is 96 against Cologne. Unfortunately for Stuttgart, they have not kept a clean sheet in any of their last 12 Bundesliga home games. Only from 1964 to 1965 and from 2013 to 2014 have they had such a long streak at home in their top flight history. Which honestly, this is a bit surprising of stat. I think Florian Müller is a very solid goalkeeper. Obviously, they have plenty of players across the pitch, especially defenders that are injured. But I think Florian Müller is better than this, so I wouldn't read into that stat too much. Obviously, that is a really, really bad stat to have, but still, I think they're better than that, especially, I think Florian Müller is a lot better than that as well. Stuttgart have won 2 of the last 3 matches, as I said before, the same number of wins they had from the first 12 matches of the season, so obviously, they're picking up, they're doing a lot better than they were at the start, and honestly, in the last 3 games, only Bayern and Hoffenheim have picked up more points than Stuttgart, so they're definitely turning around. They're definitely better than the record shows, and are heating up. They still have a lot to work to do, and unfortunately, they have some major injury problems and have several key players out, such as Sasa Kalasic, the Austrian attacker I'm sure you all saw at the Euros this summer, as well as Sosa. They're really having goal-scoring issues when that wasn't a problem in past seasons. Obviously, they had some players like Silas and Sasa Kalasic out there scoring goals from. Obviously, that is kind of a problem right now. They only have 2 players with more than 2 goals scored, and they're both defenders. It's just crazy. I think it's Kempf and Mavropanos. So definitely players you wouldn't be expecting to score for Stuttgart, and those are the top 2 goal scorers for them. So they need to get something going. I do think they can be a lower mid-table side, maybe like 12th if they figure things out. I know they're like 15th right now, so it's not a crazy improvement, but still, I think they're definitely better than they are now, and I think last season they were a lot better than they are right now. So for players to watch for this game, I'm going to go with both Mullers this game. So for Bayern, Thomas Muller, if Muller can come alive in this game, the entire Bayern offense will as well. I mean, he's honestly the key to unlocking our offense, and we need him to play well. Not that he hasn't been. I just want to say he has been playing well, but we need him to play, that excellent level we expect from him. And honestly, I think possibly Sané's adjusted role is taking some of the offensive emphasis away from Muller. I know a lot of you have agreed with that as well. And it's honestly might be hindering his impact on the game. I mean, obviously, it is increasing Sané's impact on the game. Obviously, he was doing very well there for a while. Not to say he hasn't been doing as well recently. But I think, in that kind of increase we've seen from Sané, I think we've seen a little bit less emphasis on Muller in the midfield, because I know especially Sané is kind of drifting more to a cam role, which is obviously Muller's role. So definitely a little bit less emphasis on Muller, which it comes at a cost. Obviously, Muller's a game changer, and he's our guy to get the ball to Lewandowski. Hopefully, he's not the opportunities in this role, and maybe his role will change again. I'm sure Nagelsmann is experimenting at this point, but hopefully we see a big impact from Muller on Tuesday. As for our opponent, I'm going to go with the other Muller, Florian Muller, their goalkeeper. He's honestly one of the best goalkeepers in the Bundesliga last season. I think he's an excellent shot stopper. He might not be able to sweep up like someone like such as Neuer, but he has the ability to make some phenomenal saves we saw last season. And honestly, I'm going to give another honorable mention to Tanguy Koulibaly. I think he's a very solid player.